Welcome back to another season of Goat Locker Racing, where tonight in the Next Gen series, we are opening our season right here at Las Vegas. It's the Crusin Classics and Nasty's Bar and Grill Next Gen series, and we're getting ready for 100 laps tonight around Las Vegas. I'm Sky Shrek. I'm joined up in the booth tonight by Jacob Lanke, along with our producer Bradley Cooper, and we're getting ready to go here very shortly, Jacob.
Sorry, my voice is still a little messed up from the finale in May, but I am excited to be back up here in the booth and working with you and Bradley here tonight, Sky.
We'll get straight into starting grid here because we're about to get rolling in just a moment. Your pole sitter tonight, the 74 car of Jake Bustis, will be winning the Jam Printing and Promotions Pole Award. Since forming in 2013, Jam has contributed printing and promotional sponsorships to more than 60 local nonprofits, with a primary focus on organizations that assist veterans, women, and children. They've been with Goat Locker Racing since the very beginning. They're local and veteran certified, and when they do well, they do good in the community. It is Jake Bustis winning that Jam Printing and Promotions Pole Award tonight. Trevor Dyer will go from P2 in the 38. Dylan Simmons starts third in car number 4 next to Jeremy Gardner in the 57 in 4th. It's Jason Kristen in the 02 rolling off 5th next to Daniel Parks in the 71 in 6th. Jamie Barkus, Jordan Fisher, row 4. And row 5 tonight will be the 12 of Caden Heiner next to Levi McCarty.
Patrick Dravick rolls off 11th in the 07 car. Jason Taylor in the untied Retinal 60 in 12th. Reagan Carty making his Premier Series debut after sweeping the LMP class in the spring season with the Road Course Series in 13th. Jamie Libke, longtime driver, in 14th. Bobby Bender rolls off P15. Jake Ham, 16th. Charles Abert, another one of the Goat Locker guys, in 17th. Zachariah Logan in 18th. Thaddeus Friel in 19th. And Brian Provo rounds out the top 20.
And the rest of your field tonight, 21st, is Timothy Williams in the 86. Samuel Yosef next to him in the 88. It's Sean Lobos in the 55 next to the 30 of Logan Threlkeld. Charles Feltz rolls off in the 75 and 25th next to Timothy Stubblefield in the 92. And the last two cars on your field tonight will be the Matts. It's Matt Wiebers and Matt Knights on the back row there in 27th and 28th. One thing of note as we are racing at Las Vegas tonight is that we have a very low track temperature. It's only 79 degrees, so you're going to see a lot less tire wear than you would typically see in a race at Las Vegas tonight. And I wonder how that's going to affect these drivers who are maybe more used to a hotter track around here.
I think from the practice laps and the qual we saw, everybody's going to be pushing as hard as they can for a majority of this one. And we're going from evening into night, which is only going to make them want to go even faster.
As cars making their way around turn 1 and 2. This is a 100 lap race tonight around Las Vegas. And we've got a field of 28 drivers ready to roll. Pit road speed tonight, 50 miles an hour. 4 tire sets available, 2 green white checkers if we need them, 100% fuel, and an iRacing fixed setup tonight. Green flag tonight will be brought to you by the Indiana Department of Veterans Affairs. As we get ready to roll here in just a moment, it'll be Jake Bustis and Melissa Dyer up on the front row. Dylan Simmons and Jeremy Gardner in hot pursuit behind here, and we'll see if any of the drivers who are starting maybe a little bit deeper in the field, someone like a Timothy Wilms, someone like a Samuel Yosef, or a Logan Threlkeld, drivers starting outside the top 20 who we've seen up towards the front quite a few times here in Goat Locker Racing, can't get it done tonight. The pace car will pull in. The 74 of Jake Bustis will take us into the restart zone, and we are green at Las Vegas. Green flag once again presented by the Indiana Department of Veterans Affairs, serving those who served us and connecting Indiana veterans and their families with the benefits and support that they've earned. As we're side by side down the front straightaway, Trevor Dyer, Jake Bustis still going at it 1 and 2, but it's Dyer in that Alabama car with the advantage right now, running that high side, and he takes the lead here on lap 1. Dylan Simmons back in third. He'll look to put the pressure on Jake up there in the 74. And Jeremy Gardner not far behind either as we begin lap 2. This is a track that always seems to produce some great racing here in Goat Locker. And with the low track temp, I think you're going to see some high speeds and some low tire wear, which is going to contribute to maybe some really aggressive racing as we head into the night stretch. Dyer still holds the lead.
Trying to get sorted out single file as we're seeing the top 5 start to shake out on board with Jordan Fisher, one of our other newcomers to the inside of Daniel Parks, trying to stay in that line, stay in the draft of the cars behind, able to get past Parks and round himself into the top 5.
Whoa, car loose. Daniel Parks stepped out and he's still sliding. And there he goes. Daniel Parks around on the back straightaway for the first caution of the night.
Everybody
able we're piling up next to him. Charles Abert's wrecking.
Oh, watched Libke get past there. Parks able to get it up and moving, but a couple of cars haven't taken some damage in that one as we have got our first yellow of the night on lap 3.
Yeah, that was close. Parks tried to hold on to it there, got a little bit of contact with the 0-2 of Jason Crusin. He just tapped the apron down on corner entry. That sent him. He tapped Crusin. I think he got a little bit of Levi McCarty there as well. And then you're going to see Abert behind. He just tries to dodge the accident, maybe oversteers that car towards the wall. Doesn't hit anybody, but he goes head on into that outside fence. And probably a faster pair for that 7 pretty early on here.
We've got the onboard from Charles Abert, locks it up and just nails the wall there. That's Timothy Wilms getting past on the top side. Looked like he barely made it out without getting contact from the 7, but that's some serious nose damage for Abert.
Would like to correct myself. No faster pairs in this series. It is a departure from typical Goat Locker racing rules, where in most series here we do have a faster pair. So that could be a night ender there for Charles Abert, depending on how long that car takes in the pits to get fixed. He probably got worse of it than Daniel Parks there, I'd imagine.
Yep, Parks got a couple of contacts from the cars around him, but Abert definitely with some more damage as we see Wilms pulling into the pits now as well.
Jason Kristen is going to come down in the 0-2 car. And he was one of the cars who just got tapped there by Parks as he was spinning. So he'll bring that car down now. And I'm assuming this is just going to be a stop to fix any damage that might have accumulated on that car as a result of that tap from Parks.
Any damage, maybe pack it full of fuel once again. Like you mentioned, the tires aren't going to be wearing as much, so everybody might try to turn this into a bit of a strategy game toward the end.
We will have to see how that shakes out. Tonight, we'd like to thank one of our primary partners of this series. That is Crusin Classics. Crusin Classics, located in Columbus, Ohio. They feature a massive 56,000 square foot showroom filled with hundreds of unique automobiles, including a hand-picked collection of classic cars, muscle cars, and hot rods. So whether you're looking for your dream car or just love classic automobiles, there's something for everyone at Crusin Classics. Stop by their showroom in Columbus or visit them online at crusinclassicsinc.com. That's crusinclassicsinc.com. As I believe we're going to hit one to go this time. Trevor Dyer still up front leading this race in the 38 car with Dylan Simmons up to second. Jake Bustos, who started on pole tonight, has gone back to P3 in that 74 car. No one's really gained too many spots early on. I think just through a quick look through the field, the biggest mover right now potentially going to be Jordan Fisher, who started back in 8th, has that car driving up in 5th, so it's working out pretty well for him at the moment. Logan also running P14 after starting back in 18th tonight. So a couple drivers have managed to get their way up through the field here.
Something to note, if people haven't watched Goat Locker Racing before, the leader does have the option to choose the inside or the outside on the restarts. iRacing doesn't have any official programming for a choose cone or anything to be able to like sort the lines out, but we do give the option to the leader, and it looks like Dyer has chosen the inside, maybe just to get a little bit of an extra launch and push it into the bottom of turn 1 once they get going.
We'll see what he's able to do. He took that lead away from that 74 car really easily on that last restart, driving that Alabama machine, maybe getting geared up here for the college iRacing series that's going to start back up in about a month. I know I've raced against Dyer a couple times in that series, and he's always got some speed over there, so I'm imagining he's going to have some speed here this season. in the Crusin Classics and Nasty's Bar and Grill Next Gen Series as well. The cars make their way down to the extreme scoring restart zone. Dyer waiting, jumps about halfway through, and we're back green in Vegas. And it's a big move for the inside lane. Not a good start at all for the 4 of Dylan Simmons there. He's dropping back on that high side, and that's going to let Jake Bustis get through to second, and maybe Jordan Fisher get through to second. He'll put that car on rails around the white line there at the bottom. He'll take P2, and Jeremy Gardner now in this battle here for P3 in that white and red 57 car.
Yep, with the top lane only able to tuck in for the backstretch. The bottom having to shape out a little more. Gardner easily takes third away from Bustos, but here comes Levi McCarty. Going to try and challenge for it as we see somebody jump all the way to the inside. That's Jordan Fisher trying to get a position on Dyer.
He's gunning for it back here in P2, maybe thinking that with that lower track temp tonight, he can take advantage of the decreased time where he's up the track off the nose of Gardner there. That was a close one. Gardner got into the back of him, almost gave Fisher a little bit of a push, and he'll dive that car down to the inside here through 3 and 4. So a little bit of contact for Jordan Fisher, but it looks like it's going to work out for him as they're going to door bang coming off of 4. He'll go right down to the apron, and he'll lead lap 8 here. Now, can he get clear through turns 1 and 2? Dyer is not going to let him go without a fight up here on the top side.
Yep, Dyer slowly pushing down.
And there you go, contact again.
Contact with Dyer and Fisher side by side for the lead still. Dyer able to keep that momentum on the top side, just keeping it alongside of the 39. The 38 still trying to keep with that lead, but Dyer is not going to lead this lap. That's going to go to Fisher at the stripe. Jeremy Gardner in the catbird seat watching these two fight it out.
Jordan Fisher not afraid to be aggressive tonight. You've seen him pull that car up on the nose of another car twice out of these corners. He is so willing to take that car up the racetrack and make some aggressive moves tonight as he goes 193 miles an hour down into turn 3 and 4, and Trevor Dyer was even faster than that on a very fast Las Vegas Motor Speedway tonight. Dyer and both cars down to the apron here.
Yep, both of them trying to get as much as of that run out of 4 as they can. I made some comments when the schedule was revealed about there not being a super speedway to start, but I think we're getting just as good a show with Vegas as we would have with Talladega, as Fisher is still holding out just ahead of Dyer here.
Vegas and Homestead are the 2 tracks I circle anytime Goat Locker Racing races there because they're always amazing. Jason Taylor, Regan Carty going at it here. This is for P7. Taylor currently holding that spot up on the outside. That's that red car on your screen with Regan Carty underneath him. Taylor just clips the wall a little bit there, loses a bit of time. Advantage Regan Carty, but he slides up through the corner, and that will give the advantage right back to Taylor. He's pretty quick on that high side, but it seems a little bit unstable on him. He's gotten loose more than once up there, and it's letting Regan Carty in the 6 stay right into that fight. They'll stay side by side. Carty can't quite clear there. He would have gone across the nose of Taylor, and that gives Taylor yet another run out of the corner here in the battle for P7.
Watching Carty with his line on the bottom, I notice each time Taylor tries to make a run on him, he has to back out of it a little bit because he's been clipping that wall more and more, maybe pushing a little too hard through the corner, but it looks like Taylor might have the advantage to the top here. So we're back here taking a look at the 12 of Caden Heiner side by side with another driver. That's Bobby. Is that Bobby Bender? Yes, it is.
The 96 of Bobby Bender, who we're on board with down there on the bottom, and then the 12, that Ryan Blaney scheme of Caden Heiner up there on the outside. Bender's going to get through there as Heiner smacks the wall entering turn 1, and that opens the door for the 15 car of Jamie Barkus, who you see there down on the inside in that rear view camera, and he's checking his mirrors right now as Barkus and Heiner are going to be doing battle with Bender clear up to P10.
That's a pet peeve of mine. Stop watching the broadcast and focus on the race, Bobby. He blew us a kiss there. So everybody able to continue running single file through here. Got a little bit of a side-by-side developing further back. I see Brian Provo next to the 98 of Thaddeus Friel, that's for the 16th position, and everybody else is still shaking out where they can. I think we got a pretty good green run developing.
We did get a battle for P2 there while we were on board with Bobby Bender. Jeremy Gardner took that spot away from Trevor Dyer, made that pass, and he seems like he's the fastest car on the racetrack right now because he is all over the back bumper of Jordan Fisher. There is Gardner getting ahead of Dyer as these two cars are going to go side by side for a little out of 2 on the live feed, but Gardner will clear pretty quickly as he's trying to maximize this run here on the 39 of Jordan Fisher to do what he can and get this lead away on lap 16.
Fisher able to step away a little bit, but Gardner keeps the momentum, getting pushed by Dyer down the front stretch to try and get back to the 39. This battle between the 3 of them, electric all the way through the first 20 laps of this race.
Yeah, Gardner is still trying to get up to the outside here. He'll get a better run off the corner. I wonder if he's going to try and pull one down. Nah, he'll stay behind for now. We did see it pull down a little bit further back. That was Levi McCarty making a pass for P5 on Jake Bustos. He has gotten that spot away. Regan Carty back there for P7. Wouldn't count him out either. He's been one of the big movers this race. Started back in 13th, driving that car right now in P7. And Bustos, who has kind of been on the decline after starting on pole, would be the next car up for Regan Carty to make his way around in that 6 machine. He's right on the bumper, giving him a push there. Yeah, this is not going very well for the 74 of Jake Bustos, and it looks like he might lose P6 here in due time with Regan Carty going around him. We're on board with Bustos in the McLaren outfit. He's going to get passed there straight up by Regan Carty, and your pole sitter will drop back to 7th here on lap number 19.
Bit of a wiggle just upset the car completely and allowed Carty to get past on the inside. He's still tucked in behind the Shelby here, and he's going to try and he's going to stay in Carty's tire tracks and minimize just stop the bleeding a little bit, as it were. Just try and run your race, like keep your head in it and focus on trying to get those spots back when you get it all gathered back up.
Still single file up here through about the first 15, I guess first 20 cars now, as everything is sorted itself back out. We're still keeping an eye on that battle up at the very front of the field, waiting for a move to be made. Pass was just made back in 20th. Timothy Stubblefield was side by side with Zachariah Logan for a minute. Logan is struggling big time right now because Jason Kristen just sent a dive in on Logan. That Kristen car started up in 5th. You saw him take that early pit stop after some contact with a spinning Daniel Parks car. He's all the way back in 21st right now, so a lot of time left, but a lot of way to go for Jason Kristen right now as they're door-to-door behind him with Chuck Feltz up the inside of Zachariah Logan now. Chuck Feltz should get that spot easily, so really bad times for that 301 of Zachariah Logan, who is now going to be passed probably by Timothy Wilms back here. That would be for P23 if Wilms is able to get around him. Back up front. Oh, Jason Taylor loose. I think he might have taken a little bit of a tap there for Bustos. Yes, he did. And that car went sliding big time. We're 3 wide now as Patrick Dravick is going to get the best of this down the front straightaway. He'll lead this pack of 4 entering turn 1. Jamie Barkas up here as well. We'll go +2. And now Dravick catches the apron. He's loose off the corner, and he'll lose the time. And now Bobby Bender has entered the fight along with Jamie Libke. So it's all going down suddenly. Back in the battle from about 7th to 12th. Just a little bit of contact there with Jason Taylor getting loose, catching Jake Bustos, and suddenly we have ourselves a battle back here in the mid-pack. Jake Ham is up on the outside of Jason Taylor as well here for P12.
Everybody balancing on the edge of grip as we see Dravick get loose again, push up the track.
That's the replay.
He's got Bustos to his outside.
Sorry, I'm sorry to spoil your fun. That was the replay.
I see that now, and I'm no less excited about it.
It was a really, really crazy moment there. Brian Provo's entering this fight as well. Back in the 08 car. He's running 14th, and you can't count out Sam Yosef, who's back in the 88 car, not too far behind this fight. So this is getting real racy back here from about 7th through 15th. A lot of cars and not a lot of space. Jake Ham going door-to-door with Patrick Dravick. We saw that car in 7th a couple laps ago. Had that big loose moment. Maybe overheated the tires a little bit because ever since that car has slid back to 12th with Jake Ham finding his way up to P11 and Samuel Yosef passing Jason Taylor, who we saw him in 7th. He's back to 16th or 15th, excuse me. He's also been in free fall.
Everybody's been shuffled around a little bit, trying to get to the inside of everybody, tucking back in, weaving back and forth. On board with the 88 of Samuel Yosef, getting a good look at the driver there as he tucks in behind Brian Provo, trying to fight for that 13th position. But everybody content to stay in line up here right now. Nobody trying to tempt that white line anymore. As we see Yosef try and go for a run on Provo, but nothing doing. He just tucks right back in.
Battle for P5, Reagan Carty going at it here with Dylan Simmons, and I think Carty has just made that pass to take that spot away here down the front straightaway. Just got a great run going into the tri-oval, pulled it down to the inside all the way down to the apron, and Reagan Carty now into the top 5, one of your biggest movers tonight. We got a lot of speed in that 6 car, could be someone to watch out for later in this race.
I said it when he was winning everything that he could in the sports car series, and I'm going to say it again. This guy is going to be a problem for all of the front runners that we've seen in the Premier Series. Jeremy Gardner's going to have to watch out because he is going to have his hands full later on, as we're seeing the 12 of Caden Heiner maybe with a little bit of an issue dropping back to Logan Threlkill.
We'll get a replay here of going on a little bit deeper in the field with that 12 car of Caden Heiner. He was something, he had some kind of problem, but we're not entirely sure what it was. I couldn't tell you, I can't find it. Yeah, maybe just a bad corner there, maybe just a loose moment for Heiner that really stepped him out, cost him a lot of time, as we're still battling further back. This is Jamie Libke, who just passed that 96 of Bobby Bender, and Jake Ham will now take that spot away as well. So Bobby Bender going from 9th to 11th in the span of a lap here, with Libke entering the top 10. And Patrick Drabick is going to look to regain these positions that he lost a couple laps ago, as he's tucked in behind Bobby Bender now. Brian Provo, Samuel Yosef, both slowly reeling these cars in, and it's almost a bit of bump drafting there as Yosef got into the back of Provo for a second.
Watching side by side, that's the 4 of Dylan Simmons starting to drop back a little bit. Jake Bustos getting past him, and now under fire from Jamie Libke, going to be going into 1. The 16 tucked up right behind the 4, and is going to take that outside line, try and generate the momentum and get a pass going on the outside.
Track temp is going up a little bit. It was 78 at the start of this race, now 87, so that will increase your tire wear as Jamie Libke has entered into P8, with Dylan Simmons dropping back and Jake Ham now up to P9 as well. We've just had a move for 3rd. Levi McCarty has made a pass on Trevor Dyer, sent Dyer back to P4. McCarty just powering straight around on the outside lane and getting that pass done. Trevor Dyer fading about 30 laps into this run here.
Dyer was pushing super hard on the earlier run with Bustos and has just started fading ever since. They're 0.6 back from the leader right now, so not too terrible, but Fisher is maybe going to be coming up under fire from Gardner here soon.
Yeah, Gardner has been stalking Jordan Fisher for what feels like about 0.2 of a second now, but he just hasn't been able to actually get the run, get that move done. He's been almost biding his time back here behind this 39 car. I don't think it'll be too long before we see him start to make a move, but he might have to wait until a caution or a restart so we can get back to him, as right now we're battling really good for P10 back here, as we've got Patrick Drabick, Dylan Simmons side by side. Samuel Yosef is getting into this one as well. Drabick has just entered the top 10 once again, as Simmons, he's really used up those tires. He's in free fall. We're almost 3 wide behind there, and it was Brian Provo who got squeezed out, had to back out at the last second as Bobby Bender came up the racetrack. Taylor gets the best of that situation. Right now, Drabick, Yosef, Simmons is the line on the racetrack. We've seen Simmons running up in the top 5, and that car is all the way back to 12th at the moment.
Everybody just trying to tuck in single file again, as that temperature is still keeps going up. We see Kristen jumping to the outside of the 9.
This is that battle right there that we're looking at. This is Samuel Yosef, and this is, we got cars all over the field doing battles here. I feel like there's really has not been a dull moment at all tonight, because cars have just been going back and forth, constantly battling. This is Timothy Stubblefield back here trying to steal 20th from Jason Kristen. And then finally, we're going side by side for up here by the lead, as we've got Jeremy Gardner, we've got Levi McCarty. McCarty likes that higher line. He's been trying to power around on the high side. Had a bit of a moment there where he got side-by-side level with Jeremy Gardner, but couldn't quite make it work. Gardner will prevail for now, and McCarty will continue to make progress. He, I think, is the fastest car on the racetrack at the present moment. So Levi McCarty doing everything he needs to, 35 laps into this race.
At what cost, though? The higher you run on track, the more wear it's going to put on your tires as you're keeping that speed in it. You see him ripping a lot higher than anybody else, and he cashes in that momentum with a big run on Gardner down the backstretch. Just gets right to his back bumper and just pushes him with that air, ends up tucking back in, and he's going to make another run at it out of 1 and 2.
Man, I'll tell you, this is always one of the better tracks here for Goat Locker Racing. Las Vegas puts on a show every single time we come here, no matter what series we're coming here in, as McCarty is right back on that high side, running a different line from most of the other front runners, but it's a line he prefers at the moment, and we will continue to pay attention to that battle as he tries to re-rack it. Gonna get in a quick little thanks to a sponsor here. That is one of the title sponsors of this series, Nasty's Bar and Grill in Hilliard, Ohio. Since opening their doors in 2012, Nasty's has built a reputation for great food, great service, and a commitment to their community. But their support goes beyond the restaurant. Nasty's has opened their doors to host fundraisers supporting Goat Locker Racing, helping raise the funds needed to put a sim racing rig in the hands of a deserving veteran or first responder. We're proud to have Nasty's Bar and Grill in the GLR family. Great food, great service, and a great commitment to those who serve. As we saw the move get done right there, Levi McCarty finally put that move on Jeremy Gardner and got P2 away. So it'll now be Levi McCarty in pursuit of Jordan Fisher. Gardner tried for a while, couldn't get it done, but McCarty has a whole different tactic running up there on the high side, and we'll see if that makes the difference and finally let someone put pressure on Fisher. Wasn't a good corner there for McCarty, though, as Gardner has gotten right back up.
Gardner was able to get side by side with him, but that overrun from the exit of turn 2 allowed McCarty to start pulling away a little more. Jordan Fisher still holding on in front while these two are trying to battle it out like they did all season long last year. And Jordan Fisher on debut is looking back at his mirror saying, yeah, I think that I think I can deal with this. Just keep going. Watching Levi McCarty make a little bit of wall contact, that might be Gardner's chance to try and get something back into 3 here.
Right now, McCarty staying pretty steady there over Gardner. Was side by side for P6. Jake Bustis just had to back all the way out there because he almost got into the door of Jamie Barkus there, trying to make that battle happen. So stuff happening all around the racetrack as McCarty is still up on that high side, and he might have a little bit of a run here because he's got some very good speed, but he's going to tag the wall on exit. Will that hurt his momentum? He's very clearly faster down the straightaway. He's back up to the high side here as we roll through 3 and 4. Levi McCarty's got it all working out for him 41 laps into this race, but Fisher is going to do all he can to hold this position. This is going to be a fun next 5 laps. Here comes McCarty to the inside, switches it up. Fisher tried to block high, and it's McCarty making contact. Down on the bottom, Jordan Fisher puts the block and holds the spot.
Back run by McCarty, inadvisable. Switched that lane up and tried to push low with those hot tires from running the top line, and it pushed him up into Fisher, who had the momentum, kept it going, and now he might fall prey to Gardner back in 3rd.
McCarty will see if he wants to keep running that high side or if he maybe switches it up. I think he still prefers the high side. The inside was a bit of a move to try and catch Jordan Fisher off balance. It didn't work, and it looks like he might have used up a bit more than he would have liked trying to get it done, because Jeremy Gardner has caught back up to this battle. He's not going away. He's still hanging out about 0.3 of a second back as McCarty not having the run that he had over those last 2 corners, although he's way back up this time. It was a bad run for Jordan Fisher at a 3 and 4, and suddenly we're right back even into 1 and 2.
Fisher able to get that high entry, pulling it all the way back down, but I think McCarty might have another run down the backstretch on the exit here. But Fisher is able to keep it in line. McCarty just creeping up, barely not able to get up to the back bumper like he was before, and backs out of it.
We've still got 55 laps to go in this race, and this has been absolutely incredible as McCarty dives it down to the apron, blocked by Fisher, tries to send it back up. He's all over the racetrack here, looking for a lane to get clear, and he just has not found it yet behind the wheel of that 51 car. He's got plenty of time, but I don't think he wants to hear that. I think he wants to get this done as soon as possible because he is using up what he has on those tires, trying to make that move. Let's go back to him because he's right up to about 1/10 of a second and closing. McCarty ran the inside lane that time, followed in Jordan Fisher's footsteps. Didn't quite work, but he's trying new things to try and steal this lead away as we're going to get some lap traffic. Charles Abert, who had an accident earlier, is now into this fight. We've got a car in the pits while we're at it. That is, looks like Jason Taylor in. Whoa, here we go for the lead. McCarty into the back of Jordan Fisher there. And Jeremy Gardner's right up on this as well.
Everybody taking advantage of that lap car being there. Charles Abert in the wall, trying to stay away from him. Gardner to the inside of McCarty for second. Everybody under a blanket trying to get this position done as Gardner's going to make a run on Fisher into one.
This is wild. McCarty now back to third after getting around that lap car of Abert, and he's got it all to do to catch back up to those top two cars as he was before. He'll go right back to that high side where he likes that car, and he'll try to make the time back. But now he's got to pass not just Fisher, he's got to repass Jeremy Gardner as well. McCarty with the speed advantage here down the front straightaway. They'll go back door to door, and McCarty will once again try to roll this high side and find himself a lane on Jeremy Gardner. Working out pretty well at the moment. He'll have the advantage as we hit the back straightaway, and Levi McCarty will get clear once again for P2. The short-lived advantage for Jeremy Gardner doesn't last more than a couple laps.
All that and more. McCarty tucking in on the bottom side. Gardner over speed trying to get past him as McCarty takes the opportunity to get into the pits.
So pit stops in full force here. We are about halfway through this race, so if you want to split it in two, now's as solid a time as ever to come down, and McCarty will look to pull a little bit of an undercut here and use his early pit stop to make some time on fast tires and get himself, well, ideally around Fisher and Gardner, as Gardner's dropped about half a second off here.
Trying to split the race almost as evenly as they can, as we're seeing our leader, Jordan Fisher, pull it down into the pits. He's going to get slowed down in time. It looks like he makes it, as we got Trevor Dyer also making a pit stop here, trying to get that strategy going.
So Gardner will inherit the lead, as many of your leaders are going to bring it down pit road here, but it's like a lot of cars a little bit deeper in the field are going to elect to keep it out there for the time being. So Fisher, Dyer, maybe playing a little bit more defensive. They saw Ellingson, or excuse me, not Ellingson. I'm talking about the wrong driver in the field here, and I'm looking at the Twitch chat. As they saw them pull into the pit lane, and they'll make it work. Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry, Jake. I'm reading the wrong names here.
Got Jamie Libke on pit road as well. They made the call last time by. Jake Bustos as well, your pole sitter, in on lap 50. Everybody else trying to weigh their options, maybe keep themselves out, hoping for a caution, but they got to make a decision soon, as we're seeing Reagan Carty in. Jamie Barkus is in. Patrick Drabick just behind them, the two Goat Locker cars. I think that's Brian Provo back there as well. All the GLR cars taking it down.
Hey, battle for P6 here with Dylan Simmons and Bobby Bender. This is going to be it for around 10th or so when it cycles back out. But Bobby Bender has the speed advantage as they have to move up to avoid Jake Bustis coming out of the pits. Bobby Bender running that middle lane there to try and get as good of a run as he can on Dylan Simmons there, down as they enter this corner.
Almost 3 wide through there is the speed difference from the fresh tires. We're watching the 74 of Jake Bustos tuck in right behind the 60 of Jason Taylor and try and get through these cars on the older tires.
"47 laps to go as we sit halfway through this pit cycle, and Gardner taking the opposite approach to what we saw out of those top two cars who came down a little bit earlier there with Trevor Dyer, Levi McCarty, and all of them. He is running a lot longer. So while McCarty made that very early pit stop, Gardner is going to go for a very long overcut. He will continue to keep this car out, as we've got Bobby Bender into the pits. We've got Timothy Wilms in the pits. Looks like Zachariah Logan in as well. And still got, let me hit some quick math here. We still got the top 11 cars out. Bobby Bender is in, and now Jeremy Gardner will make that turn down pit road.
Trying to push it as far as he can to try and keep it in front. But I think his mindset of keeping it going long is the longer he stays out, the fresher his tires are going to be. And the 51 is going to be trying to push as hard as he can around these lap cars and burn his stuff up. So by the time he gets back up there, he's going to have a little more toward the end.
You got some of these cars really shooting around the cars coming out of the pit lane here. Patrick Dravick run some really fast times on those new tires as we check out Jake Ham leading. It is two more cars in the pit. Sam Joseph, Logan Threlkeld making their way down pit road, and Timothy Stubblefield will join them. That will take it to, it's like 7 cars still out on the racetrack as Jordan Fisher leads this line at the moment. I believe it's a 2-tire stop for everybody. I'm just going to double check that real quick before I announce that live on air. Oh, it is a 4-tire stop. Excuse me. I'm used to the Xfinity cars where they have longer pit stops. Next gens, 10 seconds for 4 tires in these cars.
Yep, single lug nut as opposed to the 5 on each in a lot of the other series that we run here. Jake Ham, still the Pied Piper of this line. I would imagine he's going to be making a stop soon because he can't have much more fuel in the vehicle. All the way through Caden Heiner in 7th, still have not pitted. Jason Crusin pitted earlier, but that was the fixed damage. So he is on the same strategy as everybody else. Might stay out a lap or 2 longer to get that point for leading the lap.
And while we are going through this pit cycle here, we would like to thank another one of our partners at Goat Locker Racing. That is Alexander PCs. Alexander PCs is a veteran-owned and operated family business that has been building and modifying custom and gaming PCs since 2002. From design and production to customer support, the entire Alexander PCs team is based right here in the United States. Every desktop PC comes backed by an industry-leading lifetime limited warranty and service guarantee. Whether you're building for work, gaming, or looking to take your performance to the next level, check out Alexander PCs. Work, play, conquer with Alexander PCs. As Jake Ham is going to get passed here by Reagan Carty, unlapping himself. That driver will be 4th once this all cycles back around. It's been a really good run for Carty tonight.
Yes, it has. And on debut, too. Really showing that he's got what it takes to run with the front runners. But a lot of the pit cycle has gone through. Everybody's still running, trying to get their laps back. 7 cars still have not pitted from that last cycle. And Levi McCarty is trying to chase down Jordan Fisher to get that lap back.
40 to go here with 7 cars still running very long. Maybe a play hoping for a caution here as we have run very green so far tonight at Las Vegas. Had one caution about 5 laps into this one, and it has been smooth sailing ever since that Daniel Park spin early on in the race. As Kristen and Phelps will come in now. And looks like, yeah, we're going to have Caden Heiner in. We're going to have Thaddeus Friel in as well. I think pretty much everybody came down there except for Jake Ham, Sean Lobos, and Dylan Simmons, who are your cars staying out. I'm going to say really shocked by the decision of Dylan Simmons to run it this long, because that car is going to come in now. He was having some problems with that 4 car. He was really fading over the second half of that run, and he's going to run it very long here. He'll have less to go when we come back out. Only have to run 35 laps on this last set of tires, but I mean, we'll see how it works out. He's going to end up way far back of the, top 5, 6 he was running earlier in the race, and Dylan Simmons will miss his pit stall as well. So bad to worse for the 4. This will cycle around to Jordan Fisher by 1 second over Levi McCarty once Ham and Lobos do come into the pits.
I think I know what it was that caused Dylan Simmons the headache as we were watching Thaddeus Friel go through his pit cycle there. Dylan Simmons must have run one of his tires completely gone, because the only reason that meatball would have shown up, he didn't have any damage, is if one of your tires is at 0%. So he was probably running that right front until it gave out completely, and that has put him on the back foot as he is dropping spots bad.
Yeah, that can certainly be a problem, and we saw that car was really starting to run out of juice in the second part of that opening run, and I'm not surprised. That car has gone back to 23rd after starting pretty far up this field here. He started in P3, so massive overcutters. We're 3 wide here with a couple of lap cars trying to sort all this out. It's Jamie Barkus down there on the inside, Logan, who is a couple laps down behind, and then Jake Ham, who is your leader, who has not come in yet. So 3 cars on, vastly different strategies. Going 3 wide as Jake Ham still has not come down 65 laps into this one. He is really hoping he gets a caution and that this somehow plays back into his favor, because, I mean, he's going to be struggling.
And he is holding out as much as he can to try and keep that car on track. 66 laps in the books, 2/3 of this race, and he is waiting for a yellow to keep himself in the hunt for this win. And it looks like Logan's going to get past him through 3 and 4 here. Battle side by side. That is McCarty with Dyer right now. Dyer able to catch back up to the battle for this is going to be inheriting the second spot with whoever comes out on top here. McCarty taking that top line like he has been, and that is done and dusted for now.
2/3 of the way through this one here tonight at Las Vegas, as Lobos and Ham will finally pull that, Ham will pull that car in. Lobos is not showing on our scoreboard, but he has actually kept that car out. So it's having a moment there, but it's getting back sorted out, and Sean Lobos will pull it into the pits now in that 55, and it'll all cycle back around to Jordan Fisher, who will be leading this race by 1.5 seconds. A battle is brewing for second. Trevor Dyer not far behind Levi McCarty, but he's got some work to do, as everybody has some work to do if they want to be any threat to Jordan Fisher up there in the 39 tonight.
And this is impressive from Jordan Fisher. This is his first Premier Series race, to my knowledge, after getting promoted from the tryout races, and he's already putting it to these guys. And another impressive showing from Reagan Carty, who cemented himself in the top 5. Everybody getting a run for their money for the start of this season, and I cannot wait for the rest of it.
And Reagan Carty is at a great race so far tonight. I believe your biggest mover, well, we'll wait till it all gets cycled out here. I think it is Logan Threlkeld, who started this race in 24th and is running in 13th at the moment. So he is your biggest mover so far tonight, going up 11 spots from where he started this thing. And it's been a pretty good night for him. I think Matt Knights is also in that conversation, as he started this race in 28th, dead last, and has that car in 17th.
Threlkeld is... There's no counting out Logan Threlkeld, as evidenced by last season, where he won the championship in this series on a Hail Mary move at Homestead that shocked everybody. Like, everybody watching. I was in the booth. I was lucky enough to be in the booth for that moment. It's gone viral, I'm pretty sure. But Threlkeld doing what he needed to the entire time to get himself to that championship belt, and he is continuing to show that he has got the skills and what it takes. And he is currently your biggest mover, sitting in 13th.
Let's give a shout out to another one of our partners here at Goat Locker Racing, which is Goat Locker Racing themselves, the GLR Pit Crew. Want to become part of the team behind the mission? Join the GLR Pit Crew. The GLR Pit Crew is Goat Locker Racing's monthly giving program, providing consistent support for their mission to help veterans and first responders facing PTSD, mental health challenges, and suicide. When you join the Pit Crew, you're not just making a donation, you're becoming part of the team that keeps this mission moving forward. Learn more or join today at goatlockerracing.org and click the Pit Crew banner. GLR Pit Crew, fueling the mission 1 month at a time.
Yeah, and it is a very good subscription-based way for you to give back to the Goat Locker community and donate to assist them in pushing out more of these sim rigs, in putting in more of these events. And it is a good initiative that was put in place by the Goat Locker guys. So go and subscribe to the Pit Crew. You get a cool shirt if you do. So like that's incentive enough for me.
By the way, I want to read some lap times here. Jordan Fisher, 30.86. Levi McCarty, 30.7. Trevor Dyer there. He's racing under the name Melissa Dyer, but his name is Trevor Dyer. 30.825. Reagan Carty, 30.7. Jeremy Gardner, 30.4. As whoa, Dyer gets big time into the wall there as well, and that's going to get Reagan Carty the spot here potentially. But Jeremy Gardner, dun-dun, he's moving in very quickly here in the 57. Jake Ham as well. He's on new tires after that very long overcut. He could have something to say at the end of this one if he's able to move his way through and get up into the top 5.
7 laps since he pitted. Jake Ham back in 10th and still scything his way back up the field on board with Jeremy Gardner just behind Reagan Carty here. Dyer able to regroup after that wall contact, and it looks like these two are going to come under fire from the 57 real quick.
This is going to be a battle here, coming down to the last 25 laps of this race, and I feel like every car here in the top 5 or so is faster than the car in front of him. McCarty faster than Fisher. Dyer faster than McCarty. Wasn't a great lap that last time for Reagan Carty, but he's been pretty quick, and Jeremy Gardner is faster than all of them. So this is going to be quite a battle coming down to the end of this one. Gardner, first car down, is going to be Reagan Carty if he can get around him there in that 6.
It's going to be a little bit of a battle there as we saw Gardner's right front clip the wall on exit of 4, side by side with Carty down the backstretch, and he is going to hold that high line to try and stretch the gap away from Carty. And he's holding the middle, just trying to push Carty down into the corner and force him to back out, and he has the position out of 4.
3 more cars to go for Jeremy Gardner, who pit 5 laps later than everybody else in your top 3 and has put on the afterburners here over the last 10 or so laps to get himself right up into competition. Dick Ham has cut 2 seconds off of Jordan Fisher over these last few laps. He might be too little too late to win, but he certainly got some speed, could certainly snag a top 5 or even a top 3 tonight if that 85 car really gets a move on over these last few laps. Right now, we're looking at Gardner and Dyer. This is going to be the next battle coming up on Jeremy Gardner's run to the front. Bobby Bender having some problems deeper in the field. He just got passed by Zachariah Logan. He's getting passed by Caden Heiner. So some problems for that 96 car as he was running up top 10 earlier. He's now in 25th.
Less of an issue. You see problems for Bobby Bender. Zachariah Logan made some heavy wall contact as Jake Ham was passing by. Now Jamie Libke and Caden Heiner jumping to the inside of the 301. That one might have some right front damage on it.
Here's Jamie Libke with 2 cars side by side back behind her. That's Brian Provo and then the lap car of Caden Heiner there that we were taking an eye looking at. Excuse me, it's not Brian Provo. That is Zachariah Logan for position back there. And that is that 301 car getting passed by Caden Heiner for P23 as battle's really starting to go here. Won't be long before we see these 2 cars fighting for P3.
Speaking of P3, Jeremy Gardner is within a quarter of a second to Dyer going into 1, holding that a little bit of a higher line to try and get some momentum on exit. Able to get a great run for Dyer. Might try to make a lunge up top into 3.
And that gap has come down to the leader for Gardner as well. It's also come down to the leader for McCarty. We saw a 1.5 second gap. They got smoked through the pit lane there. Someone having problems on exit? Oh, speeding penalty there on pit road. That's for Taylor.
That might have been loose. That might have been loose out of 4 and just saved it by going into the pits. Oh, heavy wall contact.
Well, that's a bit more than a speeding. Yeah, that's... We'll tack a speeding there. We'll tack a reckless driving. We'll get them all for all on that one, I fear.
Looking at that paint scheme, I think it might be a full red card guy.
Ooh.
As he goes.
You might be right on that one.
On board, just pushes super tight on exit of 4 through the grass and just along for the ride, makes contact with the inside wall, and I think he just decides to park it from there.
I think some of these cars are probably pretty happy that he spun into the pits and didn't end up bringing out a caution. As here we go for P3. Jeremy Gardner to the back bumper of Trevor Dyer there in the 38. And this battle is going to really start to heat up as Gardner is going to do all he can over these last 18 laps to finally put the long-awaited move on that leader of Jordan Fisher and steal victory away. He's got a couple cars to go before he can do that, but he's shown himself to be the fastest car in the top 5 here over the last few laps, and he's got it all coming together at just the right moment behind the wheel of that 57.
Gardner's got 5 laps fresher tires than the cars in front, using every inch of them to his advantage, just tucking in back behind Dyer here. Everybody on the apron trying to cash as much of that momentum out of 4 in as they can, riding a little bit higher up top to generate that run as McCarty just inching ever closer now, within a quarter of a second of Fisher for the lead.
You can see those lap times, they're really starting to come down, not just with Gardner to Fisher, but McCarty to Fisher as well, because that gap is down to 0.3 of a second. All to play for here with 16 to go, and we're going to have a lot of fun.
Yep, 2 separate battles, one for first, one for third right now, but all of it is going to factor into the win by the end. Jordan Fisher still putting on an impressive show up front, as we're watching Jeremy Gardner in the background try and make that run on Dyer. I tell you, it can't get much better than this when it comes to Go Locker Racing.
No, it cannot. Gardner is running a little bit higher down into that corner to try and get himself a better run. You saw Dyer go straight to the bottom while Gardner let it hang up in the middle there for a second, trying to take advantage of that line and that clean air to get himself a better move. Still can't get it done right now, though. He's trapped behind that 38 car as McCarty has continued to close in on Fisher, which is kind of crazy considering McCarty was the first car on pit road, and yet Fisher maybe used it up a little too soon because McCarty has not gone away, and he's now down within 0.2 of a second to your leader with 13-14 to go here at Las Vegas.
He's still pushing high out of the corner more than Fisher is, but tucking it as tight as he can toward the grass, still jumping that high line, trying to get that run on Fisher down the backstretch out of 2. But how much more life does McCarty have in those tires if he keeps running the top like that?
Well, we'll find out. McCarty loves that high side, though. You saw him do it earlier on in the race when he was really ripping that top lane. That's where he thinks he's the fastest, and with only about 0.2 of a second left to go to Fisher, that's where he's going to try and let it fly here to find his way up around Fisher. Still a track temp of, I guess by Vegas standards, you could say only 88 degrees out here tonight, as McCarty continues to draw ever closer, and Fisher has to keep an eye on that rear view mirror because McCarty is coming. Trevor Dyer is coming as well. Jeremy Gardner maybe having some problems as that car has slowed down over the last few laps. Trevor Dyer is only sped up. He was the fastest of the 3 last time around, and he'll be the fastest of the 4 once again. I think he was the second fastest car on track last time around with Trevor Dyer.
Meanwhile, freshest tires in the field, Jake Ham back in 9th, trying to get a run on Jamie Barkas here, makes a move all the way to the inside. Barkas going to have the momentum off the top side to try and catch Ham, but that tire difference is visible right there. You're watching McCarty with the top line runs, and Barkas just wasn't able to generate any momentum as we got a car into the wall up front, watching this battle side by side with Jason Kristen and Daniel Parks.
Daniel Parks trying to recover from that early accident. Jason Kristen got caught up in that accident. These two going at it for P15 at the moment, and they've got Sean Lobos would be the next car up the track there, as he is in P14 at the moment.
On board with the 02, that Tornado Talk car, really well put together paint scheme. I think that might be my favorite in the field, if I'm being honest. He's just running his line, trying to keep going from that issue that he got caught up in earlier, currently running 15th.
Hey, McCarty is there, and we've got a lap car in the way here. McCarty forced off the high line because he's got Timothy Wilms up there getting lapped. That sent the 51 down to the bottom, but it hasn't taken away his run because he is still right there on Jordan Fisher. Timothy Wilms will go a lap down here. I think he'll actually go 2 laps down potentially in that 86 car, and he's going to cause a little bit of a problem for McCarty. He wasn't able to get all he could off that corner, and Timothy Wilms getting lapped is going to give a little bit of space here to Jordan Fisher. 8 laps to go at the line this time, and McCarty's gap is open to 0.3 of a second. Trevor Dyer now down within half a second. He's coming alive at the right time.
This is McCarty's worst nightmare here. He's got Dyer right behind him, trying to roll that bottom line to catch up to both of them. Meanwhile, they got more lap traffic up ahead, and Fisher knows exactly what he's going to do with McCarty, trying to push him up top to keep that lap traffic, and McCarty has got to go sooner rather than later, forces a move to the inside, trying to roll the bottom, but he is shut down by Fisher. Not going to have a good exit onto the backstretch.
We got another lap car here. Bobby Bender going one down. That's going to force Fisher off his preferred line. He has to drop it in later than he would like. McCarty, not a great entry to the corner, but if he can battle back on exit, he'll be real close going down into turn 1 and 2. It is 7 to go, and it's all going to come down to this.
And that's what Dyer's waiting for. He's waiting for McCarty to make that move, try and throw Fisher off so that they can put themselves into this battle. McCarty's still holding on, trying to get to the back bumper, and they're there. McCarty blocked by Fisher. Fisher to the middle. McCarty's got the entry on the top side. He's going to have the momentum out of 4. Are they going to make another move into 1?
6 to go, and Fisher is going to have to defend for his life because he's got two very hungry drivers, P2 and 3 right behind him, who are going to give it all they've got. It's Levi McCarty back to the top. 6 laps to go here tonight at Las Vegas, and it's a great corner for Jordan Fisher. That'll give him a little bit of space, but you cannot count out Levi McCarty because he has been running that top all night long. He knows how to get it done, and as we come down to the end of this one, Fisher catches the apron. He's a little loose. Will that be the bobble that Levi McCarty needs down the front straightaway? Gap under 1/10 of a second with 5 to go. McCarty right on the bumper. He'll pull it back down to the inside, and he will be blocked once again by Jordan Fisher, but that car for McCarty is just driving better right now, and here comes Trevor Dyer into the fight as well. He's right on the bumper of McCarty. He's making a move on McCarty down to the inside.
From Dyer, you can see it moved the air around McCarty's car side by side, right next to each other, behind Fisher. All 3 of these guys within 0.2 of a second of each other. 5 to go at the line, or 4 to go at the line. Jordan Fisher still holding on. McCarty having to fight off Dyer now.
This is going to be one heck of an interview after this race because it has been 97 laps and it's come down to McCarty up the inside with 4 to go. Dive happening on Jordan Fisher. He's trying to pin him to that bottom. He doesn't want to give McCarty any space. They're door-to-door off the corner, and they're still door-to-door down the front straightaway, beating and banging with 3 to go. Trevor Dyer back here in third as McCarty side drafting has the advantage down on the inside into turn 1. And Levi McCarty loose. He's going to make contact with Fisher. Fisher into the wall hard. Into Dyer. They're wrecking behind him. And it's Levi McCarty clear with 3 to go.
Not if we go. Yellow is out because Dyer back up on the track after hitting the inside wall. We're going to overtime.
Oh, my Lord. I think it might be better we get it overtime because I was out of breath. I was not making it to that finish.
You know who is the happiest man to see that right now? Jeremy Gardner, who is getting left behind by that entire battle. As we are going to take another look at just how this played out. McCarty up into Fisher, and that might be both Fisher and Dyer's races done.
I think Dyer might be done. Fisher's going to finish it, but he's not going to be able to finish it with speed, I don't think. There's a lot of damage on that car. Man.
See the bobble off the bottom from McCarty into Fisher, and that just sends Dyer careening to the inside. Oh man, it sucks to see a battle that good end that way, but man, it was good while it lasted.
What an incredible battle that was. That was a lot of fun.
We are seeing so many cars take it down the pit lane. Levi McCarty, the only car having stayed out. Sean Lobos now opting to stay out.
Well, every other car is coming down, and that might catch Levi McCarty out here. Sean Lobos is going to go for the Hail Mary. He was running way back in the field. I respect that move with 2 to go. McCarty is going to have to hold on for dear life here. Wow, 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 wow. 2-tire call here for Gardner. 2-tire call for Dravik. Jordan Fisher didn't pit. He drove through the pit lane. Did he miss his box, maybe? He might have.
He's got a lot of damage on the right front of that car, and that might
Chuck
be the
Phelps
dagger.
is staying out as well. So we got 3 cars who are staying out. Jordan Fisher, who missed his box. Gardner, Dravik, and Jake Bustis on 2. Regan Carty, first car on 4, back in 8th. Well, he got help from Gardner.
Oh, man.
Oh.
Yep, missed his box, courtesy of Jeremy Gardner, who was trying to get into his. And, oh, that's got to sting. Insult to injury in motion there.
Sean Lobos has driven around Levi McCarty here. I'm not sure why. I think McCarty will have to go back past him. Yes, he will. All right. Sean Lobos, maybe just trying to get himself a lap led there.
I mean, if there's any way to do it, you might as well do it in the laps that kind of count.
Let's give a quick shout out to Goat Talk Live. Looking for more than just racing? Check out Goat Talk Live, the official podcast of Goat Locker Racing. Each week, the GLR crew brings you incredible stories, conversations, and a behind-the-scenes look at the people and mission that make GLR special, all while celebrating the veterans, active military, and first responders who make up our community. It's racing, camaraderie, and the spirit of service all in one place. Goat Talk Live, real people, real stories, real community. This is going to be fun. Green-white checker, number 1 of 2. We've got 2 attempts at an overtime finish. On your front row, it is 2 cars who have stayed out. Levi McCarty, who was leading, who had just made the pass for the lead before the caution. Sean Lobos on a Hail Mary up here in P2 as well. Chuck Phelps will go from 3rd. Then it's Jeremy Gardner, who came down, took 2 tires in 4th, as totally out of the race now is Fisher, who had to come down again. Then it's Bustis, Dravik, Libke, and Carty, your first car on 4. We hit the extreme scoring restart zone. Levi McCarty's on the inside. He jumps early, and we're green. 2 to go in Las Vegas.
And I remember, you can't jump out of line before the start-finish line, and that holds Jeremy Gardner up, able to get a long run out the front as McCarty, and Gardner's going to have all to do to try and catch back up, even with the fresher tire.
Let's see what Jeremy Gardner can do here, because that gap has opened up. It's 0.4 of a second. He is on 2 new tires that are 50 laps newer than Levi McCarty's. And that's what it's all going to come down to here, as it's Jeremy Gardner and Levi McCarty will stay green to the white flag presented by Hoosier Tire as we get ready to roll. Tires designed for champions. We're going to have a champion here tonight. Jeremy Gardner into the back of Levi McCarty there, but he stays behind him. The 57 of Gardner will pull down to the inside, and I don't think there's a lot Levi McCarty can do about this one. He's going to have to run him real hard. Gardner down to the inside. He makes the move through 3 and 4, and McCarty doesn't have enough. Out of turn 4, it's a 2-tire call for Jeremy Gardner, and he will win the season opener at Las Vegas.
Aside for 3rd, Patrick Dravik might have just got Bustos at the line.
He did.
My goodness. What a move by Patrick Dravik right behind Levi McCarty. We were so focused on the lead, and we just watched him come into frame out of nowhere.
Hey, the Hail Mary worked for Sean Lobos, by the way. He finished 8th. That car was running outside the top 15.
Chuck Phelps up to 13, but look at this. Rips the bottom just all the way around as low as he can. Bustos trying to use the momentum off the top. Up into the door of the 74 is Patrick Dravik, and that seals him that podium finish.
Man. What a race we had tonight. That was one of the better races I've done in a while here. What a race.
So good, we got to watch it in slow motion.
We're going to take a very quick break here on Go Locker Racing, and we'll be right back with interviews from your top 3 and a look at the finishing results. Stay tuned.
superior quality, ultimate protection, and the highest level of craftsmanship. We make our gloves for the hard worker that wakes up every morning and gives 110%. You deserve the highest quality protective gear that's going to work for you, day in, day out. We know it can be tough deciding what companies to trust for your hard-earned money. It's all in our name. We've mastered our craft to help you master yours. We make our gloves rugged, durable, and designed for you. Whatever the job is, we have you covered. We are your glove station.
A thriving job market and low cost of living, plus a wide range of veteran benefits, make Indiana the perfect place for veterans of the United States military to call home. InVets can help you find that home. We're an organization started by veterans to help former service members transition to civilian life in our state. InVets can help you find the community with the career opportunities, housing, schools, and amenities that fit your lifestyle. To learn more about InVets, visit us at invets.org today.
Sebastian Marin, your first repeat top split winner of the qualifying series.
We knew it was just a matter of time. Hunter Sr. is victorious.
Josh Adams taking the win at Iowa.
Juicy Spider Motorsports takes home the 1-2-3 finish.
Welcome back to Goat Locker Racing from Las Vegas. What a race we saw. We'll take a quick look at your results here in the opening race of the Crusin Classics and Nasty's Bar and Grill Next Gen Series. Jeremy Gardner, your winner tonight, with Levi McCarty, Patrick Drabick, Jake Bustis, Reagan Carty, your top 5. Jamie Libke, Logan Threlkeld, Sean Lobos with a good pit strategy, Brian Provo, and Jamie Barkis, your top 10.
The 11 goes to Samuel Yosef. Dylan Simmons recovering from the earlier long run to finish in 12th. Chuck Phelps, the strategy call worked out. Put him P13, 12 spots from his starting spot. Daniel Parks in 14th. Jake Hammond 15th. Matt Knights in 16th. Jason Christen 17th. Timothy Williams in 18th. Jordan Fisher after that earlier contact from the lead in 19th. And Trevor Dyer rounds out the top 20.
And then your cars laps down tonight. 1 lap down, Caden Heiner, Thaddeus Friel Jr., and Zachariah Logan. Timothy Stubblefield, Charles Abert, 2 laps down. Bobby Bender, 3. Matt Wiebers, 4. Jason Taylor, your only non-finisher here tonight. Let's pull your race winner tonight, Jeremy Gardner, up into the booth. Jeremy, how you doing?
Doing good.
How you feeling? That was wild.
I'm glad to be back. That was fun. That was a hell of a way to kick off the Premier Series for the season. So.
Yeah, what was going through your head there when you were chasing down Levi with 2 laps to go?
I mean, hell, honestly, I didn't even think I was going to win. I figured I was going to finish 4th. Stayed out a little late on them tires and kind of hoped strategy worked in, and I was making gains really good. And I got behind another car, and he was running my line, and I couldn't move up, and I burnt the right front. Then caution came, and we replayed the finish of last year with me and Levi, where 2 tires ended up winning me the race. And I mean, tonight was just luck. It was pure luck. They were running a lot faster than I was. So appreciate Levi running me clean. Man, fun race. Hell of a way to start the season out.
We had I would say a pretty low track temperature compared to normal for Las Vegas. How did that affect your race?
It was kind of strange. So in practice, this is neutral. I wouldn't say it was tight, but it was neutral. We got into the race, and I noticed entry into 3 was they wanted to hang the rear out a little bit, and I'm like, oh, that's weird. And I mean, I kind of like it like that, but it was a little different. But Las Vegas is actually a really really fun track. Anything over 100 degrees. So either way, we had fun. 80-degree track temp tonight. Good racing. I think we had 2 cautions, so can't ask for anything better.
All right, who do you have to thank tonight?
Lincoln Tech, Jam Printing and Promotions, Safe 22 for being on the car. Appreciate everything they do. Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs, my guys at Premier Racing Setups. Y'all in the V-Speed booth, appreciate y'all. Can't wait to go back and watch the broadcast. Crusin Classics and Nasties for putting on the series. Pat and Jamie always for everything they do for Goat Locker, the league, just everything for the veteran community. And yeah, looking forward to next week already.
All right, congrats on the win tonight, Jeremy Gardner.
Yep, appreciate it.
And we're going to send it over to Jacob, who will be standing by with our second place finisher tonight. That is Levi McCarty.
Hey, Levi, is Jake Linky in the booth? You got a copy?
Yeah, how's it going?
Not too bad. I'm sure that you would be perfectly fine with the second place finish as well tonight. You would have you played everything that you could for the win, and it netted you a podium spot. Take us through it.
Yeah, if I could qualify the car and be half decent on a green flag stop, I think we would be a little bit better off. But we'll take a second, grind it out. Had really good long run speed. I've been working on patience and long run speed all summer. Felt like we showcased that pretty well, or pretty good, or well, however you want to say it tonight. And yeah, some hard racing up front. Some crazy blocks by, I don't even remember the guy's name, or yeah, Fisher. Yeah, just some egregious blocks, and hard race in there. And then I don't know what he was mad about. I guess he'll probably tell me what he was mad about, but it didn't make sense to me that he was mad. And yeah, just the decision to stay out there, not the right one, but lucky to come away with second place.
Yes, sir. All to play for, and netted you a good result. Who do you have to thank for putting you on the podium, sir?
Fairfield Auto Group, Fairfield Motorsports, Save 22. Appreciate Crusin Classics, as always, for putting on the series. Thank you guys for an awesome broadcast. State of the art, awesome. I can't wait to see the new stuff that you guys have cooking on this. Alexander PCs and GTR simulators.
Yes, sir. Thank you for your time. We'll see you at Michigan.
Thanks, guys.
All right. And after that, we are going to head right back to Sky with our third place finisher by a nothing of a second, Patrick Traffic.
Hey, Patrick, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Pretty good. How about that last lap?
These are the shortest questions I've ever heard in my life. How you doing? What about that last lap? That last lap was the last lap, and then the race was over. That's what the last lap was.
You were going at it with Jake there coming down to the end of that one. I don't even know what the difference was, because on my iRacing, you're both showing at 0.509 back. So, I mean, tell me about that battle.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just really grateful to finish third tonight. I mean, I was a 10th place car. Just Las Vegas has not been kind to me over the years. Can't quite figure it out. Had a really good cycle of green flag stops there. Came back out sixth and figured that's where I was going to land. And then we had this wacky finish here at the end, threw on 2 tires and was able to get up there. But I knew with a couple of those guys that had stayed out, it was going to be interesting, to say the least. And it got interesting. Ended up having to muscle the 55 up off the lower lane. And then, I got a really good run coming out of 3, coming to the checkered flag. Me and Jake kind of touched there a little bit, and I didn't know who beat who, but scoring and time, he had me in third place. So I was like, woo.
What was going through your mind when that caution came out? Did you think you had any chance of getting back up on the podium? And what was going through your mind when you took 2 tires?
Just trying to maintain track position, knowing the guys in front of me were going to probably take 2 tires, knowing a couple of the guys behind me were going to probably take 2 tires. I figured it was best just to try to hold on to my track position. And then again, you had a couple guys stay out, and I'm like, "Ooh, this is going to get really, really interesting." And then, Jeremy Gardner on two tires is damn near unstoppable. So I was just trying to pick my way through the traffic with him.
All right, who do you have to thank tonight?
Well, you for these amazing questions. I mean, I don't know that I've had a better interview in my life, Sky. So I appreciate you, brother. You're awesome. But the Fraternal Order Eagles, man, they've been such a tremendous partner, and especially Airy 3207 here in Plainfield, Indiana. What a awesome partner they have been, and I can't be more happy that this year they're with us and they're sponsoring the Grand National Series on Sundays. Sim Motion, who provides a lot of our sim equipment, they provide the wheel and pedal sets for all of our sim rig recipients. Harpoon Designs, who actually designed the car I'm driving here tonight. Zach Graphics, and of course Crusin Classics, who's been with us forever. Save 22, they're on the side of the car. But you guys up at V Speed booth do an amazing job. I can't thank you guys enough. Can't wait to go back and watch some of this, but really stoked to open up the season with a podium finish.
All right, congrats on P3 tonight, Patrick Drabick.
All right, man.
Well, Jacob, that was a great race. That was extremely entertaining. Had a ton of fun. Any final takeaways tonight?
Well, we had that extremely long green run, green flag pit stops, which threw the strategy game into everything, and we had an overtime. I don't think you can ask for much more. We're picking up the intensity right where we left off from the end of last season. It's awesome.
It is going to be a ton of fun all season long here in the Crusin Classics and Nasty's Bar and Grill Next Gen Series. A quick look at your next month or so of the schedule. We're at Michigan next week, Richmond the week after that, and then we finish out September at Texas, Darlington, and Nashville Super Speedway. And we'll see you here, same time, same place at V-Speed for all of those races. For Jacob and myself up here in the booth, for Bradley, our producer, and for everybody at Goat Locker Racing and V-Speed, thank you so much for watching, and have a great night.